Hey everybody, this is Rustin Rose of Access Entertainment and Metalholic Magazine, talking to our dear friend Cris Brown on One Less Reason. What is going on in your world today, my friend?
Oh man, not too much in the studio recording, as always.
What else is new with you, right?
What else would I do with my day?
Right. Well, it's been way too long since we last spoke, 5 years to be exact, when we were chatting about faces and four-letter words. You've never just kicked albums out every couple of years, but this one seems to have taken a bit longer on the journey. Tell us what's been going on.
I've always been a firm believer of you don't write music unless you're really compelled to write music or you have a feeling to write music. I've never been able to kind of be really happy and write music, I guess. And I kind of took the last 4 years off and had a family and, you know, the growing up thing that I said I was never going to do. And, you know, I've had a lot of, and it's kind of just been a really happy time in my life. So I've really just not had anything to complain about in music.
So because you're happy, we have to suffer is what you're saying.
You know, I was wondering if this record was even going to happen. I was like, you know what, I really just don't have anything to say right now. So that's why it took so long.
Well, we're glad it finally came out, and we'll talk about the record in a minute, but as you're in the studio, you said you now have your own recording studio. You started Tattooed Millionaire Records with our brother John Falls. What has that done for your creative freedom?
Oh, man. I don't answer to anyone. I don't answer to anybody, ever. I got so tired with record labels of some dude who sits at a desk that, you know, some guy that sits at the desk who's listening to the new Justin Bieber single telling me how I need to write more radio-like hits. And it's just like, what do you know about music, you know? And I got tired of hearing all of that, you know? So we just, you know what? We've gotten this far on our own. Why listen to anyone else? If we succeed, we're going to succeed on our own terms. And if we fail, we're going to fail on our own terms. And I can live with that.
So, and of course, when he said he doesn't answer to anybody, he wasn't, of course, including his lovely wife. So,
you know.
So every One Less Reason album is so emotive and distinctly personal. Tell us about the Memories Uninvited from your perspective.
The Memories Uninvited, the record album name came from those things that keep you awake at night when you're tossing in your bed and you're going, God, I can't believe I said that, or I can't believe I didn't say that, or why didn't I do this, or why didn't I do that? It's a reflective record on the past, on things that you either should have done, wished you would have done, should have said, would have said, never had the chance, you know, the person you didn't say bye to that you never got the chance. It's all just based off of that. It's a reflection of life that we've already lived that we're not going to get to change anything about, no matter what we do, no matter how much money you make, no matter how famous you get, no matter what you do in life, you're not going to be able to change the things that you've done in your past.
You know, you are one of the most emotionally intelligent people that I know, and because each song is so emotionally powerful, I have to imagine some of the songs were tougher than others or were more difficult to complete. Was there a particular track on this record that took you a while to wrestle with more so than the others?
The song One Day, really, that record was finished back, I mean, that song was partially finished back on the Faces of Four Letter Words prior to that record, but it just never, I don't know, it's never felt right. Every song has a feeling to it, and you know, it's like writing a chapter to a book, you know, when the chapter's over.
Mm-hmm.
That song just never, it's never come to light the way I wanted it to until I actually found it on a hard drive, and I was sitting with a friend of mine named Jerry. He was like, oh my God, dude, you got to put that out. I'm like, really? I was like, I'm worried that it sucks. He was like, absolutely not, man. He's like, you got to put this song out. So I worked on it, hashed it out, and there it is. That song's about 7 years in the making.
And it's one of my favorite songs on the album, so it just goes to show sometimes it's hard to have that perspective with your own stuff, right?
You know, honestly, my song If You Want Me, which is probably one of my biggest sellers, was a song that I was going to trash. I was going to throw away, and a buddy of mine, we were in his studio, he had gotten a new piece of gear. He's like, is there anything you can demo for me so I can check this thing out? And I was like, well, I got this one song, but it's kind of crappy. And we demoed it, and then I let some other people hear it, and they were like, no, that's going on the record. So it's always best to have an outside opinion on when it comes to your music, that's for sure.
When you're in the studio, especially now that it's your own studio, you produce everything, you write everything.
Yes.
How do you sort of get that outside perspective because you are so close to it?
Honestly, I will record a song. Like every song on this record was probably recorded, 7 to 9 times before it actually was the finished version. I will. I have this thing where I can actually, after a while, I think I could be more objective. I could hear something right off the bat, go, man, I love that, and then 4 months down the road, go, God, I hate that, or vice versa. Oh, I hate this, and then down the road, go, man, no, that's awesome. So, we'll record the song, and then I'll give it a month or so, and I'll play it for some people that I trust, people that won't stroke my ego, people that won't, just tell me what I want to hear just because.
Right.
And first day on the job mentality is listen to what the people around you that you trust say, because they have no reason to lie to you. So that's kind of my pattern for this.
I've always loved your lyrics, and I know you focus mostly on relationships, but I was listening to Break Me, and I found the lyrics as relevant to sort of the darkness and discontent going on in America right now, the evil of politics, the racism, the police shootings on both sides, and the vitriol being spewed by our leaders and our neighbors. And it really struck a chord with me, even though I know that wasn't the intent of the lyrics.
Well, the lyrics to me, I think, should be universal. And they shouldn't apply to anybody based on what it is they're going through or what their thought process is at the time. We all, as humans, have, human conditions to associate things that are going on with us or what we're focused on at the time. And Break Me is definitely, what I told somebody the other day when they asked me about Break Me, it's definitely about somebody helping you pick up the pieces that fall behind whenever you're broken. You know what I mean? Sometimes it takes a lot of people to pick up your pieces. And no matter what that is, whether it's drug problems or relationship problems or, political or whatever it is, we all need a little help along the way.
So do you ever think you're going to write a happy song? Is there a happy song in Cris Brown?
I put out a solo record called Giuseppe Moses and the Vegetarians about 3 years ago. And there's a song in there called Never Missed Out. And I wrote that song the day that I found out that we were pregnant with my first daughter. And that's probably about as happy of a song as I probably will ever write.
Nice. All right. So you've always, every one of the One Less Reason records has amazing continuity. How important is song sequencing to you?
Oh, it's as important as, if you take your chapters of your book and, misplace them and put them out of order, then the story doesn't read correctly, I mean, it's just as important. I mean, Faces of Four-Letter Words, especially because that was the version that I did, not the record label version. The actual version of Faces of Four-Letter Words was a concept record. It was a story to someone. So, yeah, me and John really sat down with this one here and hashed it out. A lot of people don't realize me and John have been friends for going on 20 years now. So we can finish each other's sentences and we know where we're going, without even saying a word. So.
That kind of takes me to one of my last questions here. You have said that the Memories Uninvited perfectly summarizes what you set out to do with One Less Reason. I know you could never stop making music, but does that mean you might blaze some new trails with a new project?
No, that pretty much means what it says. I don't know if I'm making another record. I really don't. I don't know if I'm going to. I didn't know if I was going to after Blueprints. Whenever I sat down to write this record, I didn't know if I was even going to put another record out. And what I mean with that more than anything is, if I ended my career on this record, I would be more than happy with my body of work that I set out to make. I feel like I accomplished the things that I wanted to accomplish. I said the things that I wanted to say. If there's more to say, then I'll say it. If there's not, I'll shut up and go away.
Says the man who's in the studio working right now.
I'm doing a cover of Hallelujah by Leonard Cohen and Jeff Buckley. Doing a cover of that for a movie that's hopefully going to put it in there.
Oh, that would be fantastic. It's such an excellent song, and I know you could certainly do it justice. So,
one of the best songs ever written, for sure.
Absolutely. All right, so last question before we get out of here. Are there 2 or 3 albums that you sort of came up with that you always return to that continue to inspire and motivate you after all these years?
Yes. There's been a few records that have saved my life, I think. And, they're kind of odd records. Brand New, The Devil and God Are Raging Inside Me record. Matchbox 20, You're Stuff for Someone Like You, their first record, which was actually recorded in my studio that I own now. And Matt Nathanson's Some Mad Hope. those three records I always go back to. And Better Than Ezra's Before the Robots. I love that record.
All excellent choices. Cris, thank you so much for taking a little time to chat today. The new One Less Reason album, The Memories Uninvited, out August 19th. And we look forward to talking with you again sometime in the maybe won't take 5 years next time.
Well, let's for the listeners, I hope it won't, but for my own sake of my own sanity, I hope it takes 10.
Well, and congratulations on the new family and everything that's going so wonderfully for you. You certainly deserve all of it.
Thank you, Rustin. I appreciate it, man.